the strangest object in our skies just broke every rule of astronomy. Scientists say it might not be a comet at all, but a nuclear-powered alien craft deliberately revealing itself. For months, it looked like a harmless interstellar visitor, until 4 of our most advanced telescopes watched it transform before our eyes, glowing a deep crimson red, a color that should not exist in space. This wasn't just a discovery, it was an activation. And now the United States Space Force is quietly preparing for a scenario straight out of science fiction.
The story begins with 3I Atlas, the third interstellar object ever detected by astronomers. Unlike asteroids and comets born in our own solar system, this traveler came from the distant reaches of another star. At first, everything about it was textbook perfect. It appeared as a faint, fuzzy speck moving at a blistering 100,000 miles per hour, growing brighter as it neared the sun. Astronomers all over the world were thrilled. This was a rare opportunity to study a piece of another star's family. For months, it behaved exactly as expected. No sudden outbursts, no strange anomalies, just a normal comet-like object following its predicted path. Scientists prepared for what they thought would be a once-in-a-lifetime look at a pristine visitor from another solar system. But that quiet, predictable behavior was about to end in a way no one could have imagined. The first hint that something was off came from the Spitzer space telescope. Spitzer scans the universe in infrared, and what it saw was a sudden, massive spike of heat coming from the comet's core. Unusual? Yes, but not impossible. Comets often crack apart and release buried gas as they warm up. But then came the shocker. The James Webb Space Telescope, the most powerful observatory ever built, was watching too, and its data left scientists speechless. The comet's coma, the glowing halo of gas surrounding it, was changing color. Gone was the familiar greenish-blue glow caused by excited carbon molecules. In its place was a deep, pulsating crimson red, a shade so pure and so bright that it didn't match any known natural process. Astronomers tried to explain it, maybe exotic organic compounds, maybe some strange scattering effect, but the light was too perfect, too deliberate. It was as if someone had flipped a switch. And this was only the beginning. Within hours, other observatories swung into action. Hubble, with its razor-sharp vision, confirmed what Webb saw. Even the retired Kepler telescope was brought back online to measure the light curve. The result was undeniable. 3I Atlas was no longer just reflecting sunlight. It was shining with its own light, a glow that wasn't steady, but pulsing. And then scientists noticed something that sent a chill through the room. The light wasn't random, it had a rhythm. Every 84.6 seconds, like clockwork, the glow brightened and dimmed, as if the object itself had a heartbeat. This was no natural phenomenon. It was a signal. The discovery was immediately escalated far beyond the astronomy community. What started as an exciting research project had just become a potential national security threat. And that's when the military quietly stepped in. When the data reached Vandenberg Space Force Base, everything changed. This was no longer a job for astronomers and observatories. It was now in the hands of military analysts and code breakers. Within hours, a classified task force was formed under the name Project Icarus. Their mission was simple, but terrifying. Find out what 3I by Atlas is, what it's doing, and whether it poses a threat. The first priority was the pulse, that perfect 84.6-second beat. The National Security Agency, the most advanced code breakers on Earth, got involved. What they found stunned everyone. Inside each flash of light were trillions of tiny fluctuations.
an entire stream of complex data hidden in every pulse. It was like discovering a library encoded inside a single word. The problem? No one could read it. It was a language built on physics we didn't fully understand. Meanwhile, Space Force aimed every sensor they had at the object. Radar showed it was roughly 2 miles long, shaped like a thin shard of glass. But its radar profile was impossible. Sometimes it absorbed all signals like a stealth aircraft. Other times it reflected with blinding intensity. Then came the most chilling discovery of all. While the outer shell glowed like a furnace, the core stayed just 3 degrees above absolute zero, almost the coldest temperature possible in the universe. Something was generating incredible amounts of energy on the surface while keeping its heart frozen solid. It broke the laws of thermodynamics. This wasn't just advanced technology. It was alien technology built on principles completely outside human understanding. And if it could do this, what else was it capable of?
Project Icarus turned its attention to the comet's path. At first, 3I ATLS followed its predicted course, swinging toward the sun exactly as the model showed. For a moment, some officials began to relax. Maybe this was just a bizarre natural event after all, a cosmic light show, nothing more. But then came the detail that changed everything. As the object passed through the orbit of Mars, it failed to slow down the way physics said it should. Mars's gravity should have tugged on it, pulling its path by a measurable fraction. Instead, it resisted, as if the pull of an entire planet meant nothing. This was the final, undeniable proof. 3I ATLS wasn't just a rock in space, it was actively steering. Something inside was counteracting gravity itself. For the scientists and military analysts watching the data stream in, the mood shifted instantly. This was no longer a comet. This was an artificial object, a probe, a ship, something built with a purpose. And that raised a terrifying new question. If it could ignore gravity, what else could it do? Could it change course toward Earth? Could it slow down, stop, or even land? Inside Project Icarus, the alert level quietly escalated. New teams were activated. Contingency plans were drawn up, because the unspoken truth was now impossible to ignore. This thing wasn't just passing through, it was here for a reason. Inside Project Icarus, the debate turned from what it was to why it was here. And the theories they considered were anything but comforting. One camp believes in what's now called the lighthouse theory. In this scenario, 3I Atlas isn't meant for us at all. It's a warning beacon, a cosmic danger sign flashing red, alerting anyone who can see it that our solar system is drifting towards something catastrophic. In this view, we're just bystanders living next to a lighthouse, watching a signal that wasn't meant for human eyes. Another group fears something far darker, the harbinger theory. They argue that the object might be a terraforming machine, or worse, a siege ship. The energy spike and sudden color change could be the start of its real mission, releasing microscopic, self-replicating machines into space, quietly preparing our planet for colonization. The hostile red glow in this interpretation might not just be a warning, it could be the first stage of transforming our world. And then comes the most unsettling theory of all, the litmus test. This idea suggests that we are being watched right now. The dramatic color shift, the signal, the perfect rhythm, they are part of a psychological experiment. The creators want to see how we react to something completely outside our comprehension. Do we panic? Do we prepare for war? Or do we try to communicate? For the analysts and scientists inside Project Icarus, these are no longer science fiction thought experiments. They are possibilities being treated with deadly seriousness. Because whatever 3I Atlas is, a beacon, a probe, or a test, one fact remains impossible to ignore. It chose to reveal itself, and now it's watching to see what we'll do next.
We are witnessing something unprecedented. a visitor from another star system, built with technology far beyond our understanding, broadcasting a signal that no human has ever decoded. And yet, it isn't gone. It hasn't left quietly. It is still out there, pulsing, watching, testing. So, what do you think? Is this a warning, a test, or something far more sinister? Drop your theories in the comments below. The discussion is just beginning. And don't forget to like and subscribe for the latest updates on this unfolding mystery. Because one thing is certain, 3I Atlas has announced its presence, and the universe will never look the same again.